So, you're on the Peter stream, you're doing the discernment process, but what's the journey actually like? That's what this video is for. I'm joined by Sabine, Cyril, and Miranda, and we're going to explore this question. Check this out.
It was okay. Actually, there was an accident coming in, but it was okay. It cleared up
rain?
really
Pouring with
quickly.
rain.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Look at what out.
Who came the furthest?
Oh, definitely me.
Definitely
I came over
not
from
me.
Hackney. Like,
I've come from Surrey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I would
Rewind.
say I win.
I'm coming from Richmond, so right round the corner.
Yeah, different journeys, I guess, and this is why we're here. And so it's just beautiful that we can have a discussion. And so I would just love to kick off this question in regards to the Peter stream. And, you know, what called you, Sabine, to the Peter stream?
So when I started feeling like God was leading me in this direction towards becoming a priest in the Church of England, the first thing I found daunting was, how can this be? I can't see anyone like me in church leadership. And so the Peter stream is a program for people who feel that they haven't seen people like them, and it was encouraging people like me to consider this calling. And I just really encouraging to see that people believed that someone like me could do this.
And you're doing it, and you've
And
done
I'm
it.
doing it.
Yeah.
I've done it, and yeah.
Cyril, for you, why did you feel that Peter stream was for you?
I didn't know how to interact with other people within the church. And it was other people really encouraging me, and it'd be like, hey, we see this gifting, we see this calling, hey, we see you're exercising XYZ leadership skills. Have you looked at this? And it was through hearing, oh wait, me as someone who walked out of school with not many qualifications at all, from a working class background. I had never seen anyone like me lead a church by one individual, and he just got it in a miraculous way. So, yeah.
I think often you find on this journey, there's the wonders of kind of knowing how we're called in different spaces and places. And Miranda, for yourself, like, what was it like for you? Why did you feel like the Peter stream was for you?
I felt like it was obviously for me, because I hadn't even felt called to ordained ministry until a short while before I knew Peter stream existed. And I remember when I was approached about a calling, asked about that, I remember my very first reaction was, well, I'm a woman. No one in church is up the front who's a woman. They're all men. And secondly, I didn't even finish secondary school. So there's no way that I could ever do any kind of like studying or academic preparation, because I just wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't even be considered until someone told me about Peter stream. And I thought, what? That just sounds too perfect, like a path.
I do feel like, when it comes to the Peter stream, often there are so many barriers for different people, for different contexts. Miranda mentioned some of her barriers in terms of her gender. I wonder, what were kind of the barriers maybe for you, Sabine?
Just looking in the context I didn't see women in church leadership. I didn't see black people in church leadership. And I didn't see people my age in leadership. That whole combination, even in this country, you're at a table and your voice it's like you're invisible. Nobody's listening anymore. It's like you're past it. And then you find out that there's this Peter stream that is looking for people like that, and they want to journey with you. That's just, so attractive. And so with the calling, I was already feeling God was leading me towards. And that, just having a group of people saying, you can do it, we're going to help you.
And even on that, I think we had a perception of what a church leader looks like.
Yeah.
And often that kind of outweighed our own perspective of what a church leader looked like. Just kind of like exposing those things. What do you felt, and this is an open question to anybody, what was your kind of idea of what a church leader looked like in terms of why you couldn't be one?
I had this impression that you had to be a middle-aged white man up the front, and God was saying, I see you and I'm calling you forward, because there is a place for you in the church. So that's what struck me. Yeah.
And as someone who is a non-academic, neurodiverse, I find speaking really hard. I find public speaking, I find even reading like really hard. And this is not something I've seen demonstrated before. I see just confident academics trying to lead a congregation. I really relate to the unseen, and I really relate to just not hitting the mark. I think that's what I feel like in that environment.
And Sabine?
I think for me, I studied, I was born here, but then when I was very little, moved to Nigeria with my family, did my education, went to university, and was quite confident when I came out of that, and then came here. And then I became the minority, and then you grew older, you had your own family, and then you suddenly were invisible, and I lost my confidence. So by the time I came to the Church of England and stayed in the Church of England, I was used to seeing, like you said, a middle-aged white man in leadership, and I was all right with that. That's how it is. But unconsciously, what you're doing is you can no longer imagine another type of church leader.
Yeah.
And so if you think, oh, God might be calling me, you're like, really? How is that going to happen? You can't even think of how that's going to happen. And Peter Stream comes in to help you bridge that gap.
We look at the story of, when Jesus called to Peter, in the word it says, Jesus saw the gifts in Peter. And often I realize that, Peter Stream doesn't make the gifts out of us. The gifts have already been there.
Yeah.
And so in this journey process, what's the one word? If you were to give one word, what would it be? Sabine.
On the Peter Stream, I think what I saw was they'd bring people that looked like me, not just racially, people who had been on a similar journey to come and speak to us. And then you're like, wow, they can do it, I can do it. And they keep telling you, you can do it. And suddenly you realize you're really on this journey towards leadership, and you can do it. So I would, that would be my phrase. You can do it. It's meant for someone like you. That is, so the thing that was discouraging me or making it not even cross my mind, they're saying, no, we want you in particular. And that goes with what you're already feeling in your heart that God is saying to you. And so that you can do it would be my phrase.
Amazing. Cyril, what about you?
I'm gonna scrap you one word thing as well. But I want to use a picture. I see the Peter Stream as like I had this prophetic image years ago before even stepping onto the Peter Stream, but I also see this relates to the Peter Stream as well, and it is a calling of walking through snow. Like someone did it before us. Jules, you went before us in the Peter Stream. Someone went before you, and you was that one person who made that path a little bit wider. And I feel like as we walking along that path, our job is to make that path wider for the next generations and this generation currently to access leadership in the Church of England.
It's amazing, man. Miranda, you family?
Sorry, I'm not going to do one word. It's too.
The thing about you, Peter Stream, like, innit?
It is.
Disruptors.
Yes. Well, actually, it's interesting you use that word because I've got 2 D words. The 2 words that really stand out for me about my experience on Peter Stream is diversity. Absolutely. I can't sing the praises of Peter Stream for diversity enough. And the other one is discernment. And I know we've had these conversations before. I'm a middle-aged white woman, but I'm married to a British-born Sri Lankan. We have 4 children. We're a very intercultural family. I can walk into a majority white setting and kind of feel comfortable, but actually, I've been married to my husband for 30 years. Our eldest child is 21. So my life experience is in an intercultural setting, majority. And I love, and not only that, intergenerational. Like even in the Peter Stream, it's intergenerational. We've got both, we've got all the different aspects. We've got race, we've got education, we've got gender, we've got age, like all of that. So that instantly made me feel like I was in the right place. And the second D word is discernment, because I felt called, but I had no language to put around that calling. And my goodness, did Peter Stream equip us and empower us in that regard. Like what it does is sets a foundation for I think, a continual process of discernment, which continues now. I'm in my second of 3 years of ordination training. That discernment is still continuing, but without the Peter Stream foundation, I couldn't even understand what that meant. I didn't have the language or the vocab around that. So those are my 2 words, discernment and diversity.
And sticking on to that word, diversity, because obviously we hear it quite a lot, and sometimes it is quite a buzzword nowadays in the context of church. Diversity in the context of community, what would you say for you has been the biggest value of having that diversity, but doing that discernment in community through the Peter Stream?
Peter Stream, walking into that diverse space, just felt like a little piece of heaven. It felt like there was, like I was closer to heaven, like my understanding of what heaven would be like. And so for me, it goes beyond training, it goes beyond friendship, it goes beyond mentorship, and it really becomes family. And right in the center of that is God, because that's his vision for all of us. So that's I don't know if I've answered that very well, but that's how it is hugely important, even for someone who is like me, who I suppose you could, looks like the same as most people that you usually see at the front of church. But even for me, that's really, really important. It just is tapping into what God's desire is. Yeah.
Thank you. And Cyril, what about you? What's been kind of like the main highlight for you in doing discernment together in a diverse community?
Yeah, I think it is. We were part of the Zoom year.
Yes,
Sabine and I, and it was like you would just see this screen of people who we only actually ever met on the last day, didn't we?
Yeah.
And it was like, I've known you for a year, and you guys. I think it was the support. It was the support which. There's a couple of people you could relate to on a really deep scale, but there was also a lot of other people on their own journeys, and it just brought diverse in knowledge, and it brought wisdom, which we just would just never have. Like we would not have this experience if this room wasn't created. Because you just got to hear like 20 different people's experience.
So looking back, guys, I think on your journey of discernment, in community, the importance of diversity, also the importance of your own stories. What would you say, looking back, what would be the most important point of the Peter Stream for each and every single one of you? And how would you encourage somebody who might be on this journey of discovering, actually, could the Peter Stream be for me? What would be your encouragement for anybody who might be listening to this, Sabine?
I think my encouragement would be, you won't be doing it on your own, and you'd be doing it with a diverse group of people who will be asking questions like that you would ask. So sometimes, like you said on those Zoom calls, the Zoom year, somebody, you might be thinking, this question is to, nobody else will be asking this kind of question.
And what was really nice about those speakers is that you felt, they're for this.
Yes.
They're with us as well.
Yes.
There was that camaraderie that we support this stream. We're on it. Yeah. I massively felt before the Peter Stream and during the Peter Stream and even now, like the institution of church didn't really know what to do with me. And where the Peter Stream really was helpful is that there was deep wisdom in the people just leading the Peter Stream, and also with the camaraderie as well. I think it was just an excellent space where they could pick you up when because there was some knockbacks, and they could really pick you up, and they can encourage you through it.
We've been, bold to take that step, but knowing that, our steps were never alone, because, God was walking with us, and he saw the gold in each and every single one of us. So Miranda, Cyril, Sabine, thank you so much. And, we just believe that the best is yet to come. There is so much more. And that this group of diverse people, where every tribe, every tongue, and every nation is declaring the works of the Lord. Let's just see what he does. Thank you again, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Julian.
I want a cup of tea now. So let's go.